Welcome to our premiere episode of Going to the Gemba, our journey around Kuraray to observe people doing work to serve our customers. I'm George Avday, President of Kuraray America, and today we are going to the Gemba at our LaPorte Vinyls plant. Gemba is a word in Japanese that means the real place, the place that people are doing work. Going to the Gemba is the check and act part of our lean process, PDCA, plan, do, check, act. Here at our LaPorte Vinyls plant, we will talk to people who schedule, who make, who load, and ship vinyl acetate monomer, or VAM, to all of Kuraray entities around the world in the US and in Europe. Without a doubt, Kuraray is the largest consumer of VAM in the world. And with the Vinyls team joining us in 2014, we are now truly an integrated global company. And with this integration, Kuraray will be able to lower costs, improve our performance, and be a stronger company for the future. So let's start our journey. So now we're here at Kuraray's barge dock at LaPorte, Texas. So Daniel, what goes on in this barge dock?
Well, George, this is where we load the vinyl acetate that we ship down to ITC, and this is where we also unload acetic acid that we use in the unit.
So how many barges a month of VAM do we load?
Typically, we will load one barge every other day or so, and about the same for unloading of acetic acid.
So are there any regulations we have to follow when we're loading on a public seaway?
Absolutely. The Coast Guard has pretty stringent requirements for us to follow. Plus, we make sure our team follows the proper safety standards set forth by the company.
So what do we have to do our job safely out here?
We have to stay focused on what we're doing. That's the main thing. We also have to meet DOT and Coast Guard regulations, and just make sure that we stay on top of the game while we're loading and unloading the barges.
Is the water ever so rough you cannot load a barge?
It's usually bringing it in. Now we are dependent on the ship channel movement.
And we do this rain or shine, day or night.
Rain, shine, snow, sleet, we're all out here.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time today, Daniel. Well, now I'm here with Mike Hill, Logistics Specialist for Kuraray America. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
How are you today?
Doing well. How about you?
Great. So, where are we?
We're here at ITC Terminal where we store our VAM. So we have 4 tanks, each are about 12,000 barrels each.
But this place is huge.
Yeah.
So we're just a small part of everything that they do here.
Yes, that's correct.
So how does the VAM get here?
So we bring it by barge from our production site at LaPorte.
Okay. And then so it stays in the tanks, then we ship it to Europe. So what's the process and the procedure we go through to schedule and ship our product to Europe?
So after the VAM comes here to ITC Terminal, we're going to put it on an ocean-going vessel such as this one back here.
Wow.
So we lease a small part of the space on this vessel. So we ship with many other different chemical companies. And once we get it boarded onto the vessel, it will go over to Antwerp, where we will discharge it in one of 3 terminals. And from then on, it will be supplied to our 2 production sites, Kuraray, Germany, and Eval, Europe.
So how long does it take a huge vessel like this to travel across the Atlantic Ocean?
So once it gets loaded and done here in Houston, it'll take about 15 days to arrive over in Antwerp.
15 days.
Yep.
My goodness. And then it goes into a tank, and then we ship it to KEG. So how does it get from Antwerp to our operation in Frankfurt?
VAM will be shipped to ADPO, and then from ADPO it will be sold to Celanese, and then Celanese will pipeline it from their production site in Frankfurt to our production site in Germany.
I see. But do we ever ship directly from our tanks in Europe to Frankfurt?
We also supply by barge.
By barge?
Yeah.
I bet you those barges are smaller.
Yeah. Yes, correct. So they have to go up the Rhine River. About 25%, I think, of our material goes by barge to KEG's production sites.
I heard they have a different name, the barges that are
a coaster.
They're called a coaster.
Yes, the barges are called a coaster.
A coaster,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Because they're much smaller than these things, that's for sure. When did we first start to develop the process to ship VAM from our plant to Europe?
The project actually began back in 2014, but it really didn't ramp up until July of 2015. And then from then on, we did our first vessel in December of 2015 and supplied our first vessel to Germany actually in February of 2016.
That looks like a new ship.
So most of these ships are around 10 years old, depending on the company. So this is actually an Oddsfell vessel. So Boat Clipper, we actually booked this vessel initially.
Right.
But it's up to the owner on what vessel they actually ship our product on.
The owner of the fleet.
Yes.
So I believe that nobody has ever done this before in Kuraray or DuPont before this team got together and made this all happen.
That's correct. Nobody's done this before in Kuraray.
So how many vessels have we shipped so far this year?
So vessels like these, we shipped about 10 of them this year. We try to do about 3 a month. We started off a little bit slower back in February, but since then we've ramped up and are doing 3 vessels per month.
So each pipe is for one tank?
Correct, yes.
Wow.
So they are dedicated systems.
Wow, that's why there's so many.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that it helps ensure that the product quality is maintained. Yeah. You're not getting contamination in the line system somewhere between the dock and the tank.
Wow, this is very cool stuff. I'm very impressed with everything that I've seen today, and I'm very impressed with the team that you're working with to make our customers, not only our external customers, but our internal customers in Europe, supplied with VAM.
Yep.
So, Mike, thank you very much, and congratulations on your team's work.
Yep, appreciate it.
What you saw today are the processes and places our VAM travels in order to leave our plant in LaPorte to go all the way to our operations in Europe. You met some of the people who are part of that process. Never before in Kuraray or the former GLS Finals organization has anyone done this task. This team created the processes and the work to ship VAM from this plant to all of our operations in Europe. So this concludes our first episode of Going to the Gemba. See you next time.